Here are some of the covers that I put on Chinese thread books. What I like about this structure is that it invites experimentation. So there's lots of different things that I do and a lot of different ways I put them on. The simplest thing is to just put on to glue a piece of handmade paper. It's nice and sturdy. This one wraps around. Here's one that doesn't wrap around. It's just, actually it's not even the cover, it's the box. The box itself, things are glued to it, and that becomes the cover. And that's nice, sturdy, handmade paper. And here's another with the handmade paper, but this time what I've done, this is a different, what I've done is I've wrapped it around, but I also, because I like this paper so much, I didn't glue down this part, so you can see that. With the paper ones, I'm not too fussy about the glue that I use. I often use a double-sided tape for the paper to paper. Here's another one, which again, the box is just the bottom box doubles as the cover. And actually, generally, I use either double-sided tape, a good double-sided tape, or a straight PVA. Here's another one where the cover becomes the box, or the box becomes the cover. So those are with handmade paper. I don't use just handmade paper. This is with wallpaper sample book. I used a wallpaper sample book, and I just double glued it, so I pushed it over itself. And this is like a raw edge of the wallpaper. This is a nice little structure like this. It goes like that. And I use a little Velcro to hold it down. And I probably used straight PVA. Maybe not. Straight PVA. Anything that works. Of course not rubber cement, because that deteriorates after a while. This one, I just used regular paper. This is going to be a simple one that I'm going to show at the National Museum of Mathematics this summer at their conference. It's a very simple one. It's just paper to paper, and I bet I used double-sided tape on this one, because why not? And let's see. Sometimes I can get scrap pieces of leather, and that's what this is. Again, it's probably, this one's not glued on. No, yeah, it's glued on just fine. So what I probably did is double-sided tape. I might have used some PVA on this. I'm not sure. But it's usually one or the other to glue it on. And these are so simple because you just glue them on and they're good to go. Sometimes I use book cloth. And here's a nice book cloth one with, I use sort of the way you would make a cover. There's the box. Actually, the box is this blue paper with another decorative paper inside, and then I continued on the decorative paper on the other side of the book cloth. You can see that I turned the edges in and glued them down. I'm sure I used PVA, either straight PVA or watered down with just a little bit of wheat paste, so that it gives me a little better time to dry. Here's one. Again, I use this. I love this Asahi Japanese book cloth that I get from Talis online. And again, I made the box, and then I used the same paper to continue to have that design continue on the inside, and wove a strap through. There we go. And so then that goes like this. If you use the book cloth, I find that it often, as you can see here, it often sort of remembers the shape, so I don't necessarily always feel like I need to have a strap, but the straps are nice. This is again a piece of scrap suede that I had. I glued that on to the back, probably with a combination of PVA and double-sided tape. Okay, here's another one made with a wallpaper. Again, I like making them out of wallpaper because these they're real workhorses for me, and I like this style for things that I actually carry around with my supplies and actually do things. en route. And there's one more I want to show you. This is also done with the Asahi book cloth, and I turned in the edges and then I put another piece on top of it so it's front and back. And this one is heading off to the Bridges Math Art Conference in Europe today. So this is the last time I'll ever see it, but it's a sweet little book. And there we go. So those are some covers. This one I did with straight PVA. It's all done with straight PVA. Everything's glued down. I really want it to stay. Not that I don't want the others to stay, but the fact is, if you put something on and it lets loose, then you just re-glue it on. So those are some covers. And the only one I don't have here that I wish I could show, but I've given or sold all the other ones that have for their covers. I use some old blue jeans that I cut up because they're indigo, and indigo is a traditional color they use for these Chinese thread books. So I'd like to use that. That's why you see mostly blue here. So there you go.